Hola chicos, hoy vamos a practicar un poco de gramática. So today we will practice some grammar y vamos a explicar unos conceptos. We will explain some concepts. Vamos a ver lo que se llama concordancia, that is agreement, and also word order. We call it concordancia en español. This is the word for concordancia en español. Vamos a hablar de la concordancia en español. Concordancia es un sustantivo, noun, femenino. La concordancia en español. And this is the agreement. This is the agreement, like this would be like the noun adjective agreement. And then also the noun article agreement. So we will talk a little bit of the la concordancia and the word order. El orden de las palabras. Entonces, en español, vamos a ver cómo funciona. Let's see how it works. En español funciona de este modo. This is how it works. Primero un sustantivo y después el adjetivo. Sustantivo, después el adjetivo. Por ejemplo, el chico bueno. Sustantivo, chico, noun, boy. Bueno, as in good. Now, we have some exceptions. Because it so happens, now el, we're using el, which is the in English, because el is the article we're going to use for masculine nouns in the singular form. La would be the article that we will use for feminine nouns in the singular form. El chico bueno. Now check this out. This is similar to English. Watch this. Buen, I just dropped the O. Chico. It's still the good boy. This is one of the few exceptions in which you could use the adjective before the noun, but it cannot always happen. This is just a slight exception. En español, usamos sustantivo, después adjetivo. Now, what happened with el sustantivo? Antes del sustantivo, we need another word. Y es el artículo. Entonces, aquí ponemos el artículo más el sustantivo más el adjetivo. Este es el artículo masculino singular. Vamos a ver qué pasa con el masculino plural. Entonces decimos, watch this, los chicos buenos. Since we are starting a sentence, let's keep it up with a buenos, the capital, chicos. And we just form a simple sentence, not even basically like an expression. We don't have any verb in there. Now, but let's engage a verb. So, artículo, sustantivo, adjetivo, article, noun, adjective. Pero let's put a linking verb to make the expression, to convert the expression into a full sentence. Artículo, sustantivo, verbo, adjetivo. Bueno, we already have it in plural. Let's go with plural. Los chicos son, as in the verb to be for permanent condition. Los chicos son buenos. Now, in the other case, we cannot use a linking verb because we are just using an expression. The good boys is more used for poetry, literature, when we are trying to create like a decorative effect on a sentence. Ahora, Este es el plural. Para el singular decimos el chico es bueno. Los chicos son buenos. El chico es bueno. Para el masculino. Para el femenino, simple, sencillo. Las chicas son buenas. La chica es buena. Y esto es muy importante because this is what concordancia is all about, making sure that all your words obey to the same type of noun and that your verb is conjugated according to the person who is the doer of the action. Now, nouns and adjectives, they do respond to gender, feminine or masculine, if you look at the ending. But verbs don't respond to gender. Verbs respond to number. Number, singular or plural, first person singular, second person singular, third person singular, and plural has their persons as well. Ahora, la pregunta que tengo aquí una pregunta, I have a question. Article, about the article. Let's talk about this article thing. En inglés tenemos el artículo the. ¿Qué pasa en español? The puede ser el, la, o puede ser los o las. ¿Cuándo the es el o la? Cuando es singular. Pero cuando es plural, the es los o las. En inglés, it doesn't change, no cambia. Entonces, the es el o es la. Pero también puede ser los o puede ser la. The boy, the girl, the boys, the girls. It doesn't change. Pero en español, este artículo determina la forma en que termina el adjetivo, the ending of the article. You want to see if it's true? Well, the article is part of, see it here, las, and then chicas, the noun. Sometimes we do have irregular nouns like la mano, it ends in O and it's a feminine noun. El agua, which is just L for singular, but las aguas when it's plural. We do have irregularities, but it's not the norm. Look at this. All right, now take a look at this. Ese, plural, plural, plural. Because it is plural, then this is how we conjugated this verb in the plural form. Because everything else is plural. Y esto está aquí plural también. Entonces, en inglés hay un artículo definido y un artículo indefinido. Definite articles, the. Los indefinidos, indefinite is a or an. Now, momento. It's a or an in English depending on the beginning sound of the next word. Pero en español es un o una depending on the gender of the noun. Now that doesn't mean like la silla, the chair, is a girl, and el libro, the book, is a boy. It's just that both nouns in español are classified as according to their gender. Feminine nouns, any noun that begins with la is considered a feminine noun. And any noun that begins with L is considered a masculine noun. Por ejemplo, plural. Aquí tenemos los estudiantes, plural, masculino. Now, estudiantes is one of those neutral nouns that we would say la estudiante or las estudiantes. That would have been part of the homework. Están, and this is the verb to be para temporary conditions, location, feelings, weather. Like estoy bien, estoy mal. Estoy en la clase, feeling, estoy bien, estoy mal. Weather, está lloviendo, it's raining. Everything else, normally we use ser or ser for permanent condition, your hair, your nationality, your profession, your occupation, etc. Los estudiantes están en la clase. And we just said that the students are in the class. Pero estudiantes es plural masculino. In English, you would say the. Pero en español decimos los because we're saying estudiantes, which includes feminine and masculine together. Las estudiantes, all students are female. Los estudiantes, all students could be males, or it could be a combination of both. Un alumno, this is when a student. Alumno is another word for student, meaning like pupil, rather. Escribe en el cuaderno. So a student writes on the, or in that case, I guess. Depending on where the student is writing in or on somewhere. Because in, on, and at, en español, we tend to say en. Entonces, un alumno escribe en el cuaderno, porque cuaderno es un sustantivo, noun, masculino. Femenino indefinido. Femenino indefinido. Una estudiante, a student. Now we see that estudiante is just neutral, the noun itself. And how do we know if it's a girl or a boy? La estudiante, el estudiante. Un estudiante as in a student who's a boy, one of them. Una estudiante, a student who's a girl, one female student. Una estudiante y un estudiante, we found a guy now here who's also studying. Escriben, como el verbo escribir as in to write. And you will see that the ending of the verb will tell us that more than one person are performing the action. En la pizarra, feminine article, singular again. Pizarra ending in a, singular. Now, if many of them were writing in many boards, so we would have said escriben en las pizarras, but they are writing, they together, on the one board in the class. La profesora, that would be me. La profesora. Now, if your professor was a male, you would have said el profesor. But because I'm a female, as you can see, you say la profesora conversa, the ending for the third person singular conjugation. And that would be when we go over verbs and we go back and review verb conjugation, we will review this part. Con unas alumnas. Oh, so la profesora is speaking with some female students because it's indefinite, no está definido. She's speaking con unas alumnas. It could have been, podía ser la profesora conversa con 3 alumnas. In that case, I would have been speaking with 3 of them, and alumnas would still be plural, pero in that case, we wouldn't need unas. In that case, would be la profesora conversa con 3 alumnas, 4 alumnas. Oh, but guess what? Let's see if I would have been speaking with only 1. Then la profesora conversa con una alumna. I can change this. I could make many changes. I can say el estudiante. I could drop this and write el estudiante está en la clase. Now it just became singular. No tenemos los, o tenemos el. And we start our sentence with el. El estudiante está en la clase. So we are only speaking about that one student that is in the class, and we continue with the statement. Pero, if we want to talk about all the students who are in class, well, los estudiantes están en la clase. So in other words, we have to consider concordancia, which is the agreement between the noun and the article, right? The article first has to agree with the noun. Of course, we have exceptions, like I said. And then the noun has to agree with the adjective. So concordancia, the agreement takes place article, artículo sustantivo, article noun, and noun adjective. Now, there is another concordancia, which is more like on the grammar side. The one I was telling you is more on the syntax side, when you agree, all of this, the word order, the noun goes first, the article goes in front of the noun, the adjectives goes behind in most cases. But then now we have the grammar part, when the verb has to be conjugated according to the doer of the action and according to the person, in other words. So if I am doing the action, my verb is going to end in O. And of course, let's review again the exceptions for the first person singular. The times in which my verb is not going to end in O is when I use ser and I say soy. I can also use, and that soy is not soya, it's not soy as if eating food product. I'm talking about I am for permanent condition. And then estoy as in I am in a place, or I am feeling in a certain way. And also when I am going to a place and I say voy a, I go to a place. And also when I am giving something to you, when I give and I say doy something to someone. So these four exceptions, and in OY. OY, they're just irregular verbs in the first person singular. Some of those verbs, they continue to be irregular, especially ser, soy. Pero los verbos generalmente terminan en O. Verb generally ends in O when I am the doer of the action, or when I am the speaker, or when I am the person being described, for example. And I do hope that helps you to understand what concordancia or agreement is all about in general. There might be other professors who may have a different approach, but I do hope that you understand my explanation about concordancia and what that it means. I'm taking questions now. Muy importante. Esto es muy importante. This is very important. So make sure you take your note or you keep it in mind. Cuando aprendes un sustantivo, once you learn a noun, you must learn the nature of the noun from the very beginning. When I say the nature, I mean el género, the gender. Is it feminine or masculine? Why? Porque aprendes cómo usarlo. That's how you learn how to use it. Because then you will have to say, let's say the student is tall. Okay. Es el estudiante o la estudiante. Okay, la estudiante es alta. El estudiante es alto. So the ending of your adjective will depend on what kind of noun that was. So in the case of estudiante, which is one of those nouns that are kind of neutral, like estudiante, pianista, like the pianist, artista as the artist, the article tells you if we are speaking about that individual with that skill, that is a male or a female. So articles help you to understand how to form the adjective that describes that noun itself. So if I say el estudiante es alto, as in tall, then I'll say la estudiante es alta. El pianista es bueno. La pianista es buena. Let's take a look at that because that one is very interesting. Like the words ending in ista, like here on the screen, turista. So let's say la pianista. Let's say we have a piano player and she is so awesome and so good. Oh, then if it's a boy, we say, el pianista es bueno. Like that piano player is good. But then over here, para el femenino decimos, la pianista es buena. We still use es because it's still singular noun, third person singular conjugation. We are linking the noun to the trait. It's a linking verb, a case. Pero la pianista es buena, el pianista es bueno. Es muy, muy, muy importante recordar, to remember, la naturaleza del sustantivo, the nature of that noun, that will help you to describe it as you go on learning Spanish language, you're trying to communicate properly.